Good morning, everyone. Good morning, General. I caught you immediately, see. We gather here today for the 14th time. The idea of Concordia that was so idealistically conceived all those years ago. Well, Concordia has reached teenagehood. And of course, so much more. But Concordia is still, after all these years, a fountain of ideas conceived in optimism. However, let's not forget the mountains Concordia had to climb along the way. For nothing of value and enduring relevance is easy, as many of you know so well. I'm grateful to the mountain climbers of Concordia, as led by Matt and Nick. You should be proud. For the greatest joy comes from the joy of achievement. Envisioning the architecture of possibility, then witnessing it become real. Whilst being continually enabled by the strength to keep having faith in faith. Faith in faith. Ladies and gentlemen, more of that later. Concordia. We must remember how it was built, and we must remember how it thrives. None of this was easy. It was always hard, like life. You know this, leader of a country. You know this, leader of a company. You know this, leader of a charity. You will know this, you future leaders here today. You, Kyria Maria, you in particular, you know this. And someone else knows this. Theodora. Let me explain. This May, I visited an incredible organization in Greece which supports and cares for young children who are suffering from cancer. Led by Mrs. Maria. Young children who are undergoing chemotherapy for cancers of every type. We met the children, spoke to them. They sang songs of joy to us. These children sang songs of joy and hope to us. Innocent, suffering souls enduring. Deeply moving, deeply stirring, especially for me. Because I was once like them, a sick child, which I shared with them. I said to them all, you are heroes, real heroes. You need to always remember the power within you of a strong mind to overcome a fragile body. Something I know all too well. But as I was about to leave, Mrs. Maria asked me for a few minutes more to meet a young girl. I said, of course. And a 3-year-old girl shyly stepped forward. I bent down onto my knees. She was clearly suffering from the effects of chemotherapy. I gently leaned forward and said, what is your name? She said, Theodora. I skipped a breath and a heartbeat. You see, my 11-month-old daughter is called Theodora. Now you may be taken aback to hear, but these children were not unhappy. They were not sad. They had a joyful spirit in spite of. No one was crying. Εδώ δεν κλαίμε, κύριε Logothetis, Mrs. Maria said to me. Here we don't cry. Here we don't cry. A place that could be filled with great suffering, yet filled with great faith. A place one would expect tears of pain, yet heard songs of joy. Now, what was the gift I received from those children? What was the gift I received as a child that I can re-gift to you now? In my first decade, I was in hospital dozens of times. White walls, doctors. Is he going to survive? Sickness, treatments, tests and treatments. That was my childhood. But I was no unhappy child. For you see, I came to realize that hope is a state of mind and faith is a state of soul. It is faith that is thus the bedrock. You cannot have hope without first having faith. Hope can be futile without the unshakable belief, the faith that things can change or be changed. May 1940, England. Churchill speaking into a microphone. England's hope was in short supply, yet Churchill's faith was not. I learned it can be through human suffering that one can be enabled, even enlightened, to tap into the undercurrents of empathy that reside within us all. Kindness can flourish in the wake of pain. Yes, it can. When and where there is love, leadership, and community. On the contrary, where there is no love, no community, and no leadership, pain can morph into bitterness and resentment. And evil can triumph. Thus, love, community, and leadership count. They count a great deal. I also learned never to give up. Like that obstinately resilient British Prime Minister who said with such poetic simplicity, never, never, never give up. Never. Whatever the odds stacked against you at any one time, you can never know what the next hour, day, or month will bring. To the young leaders of tomorrow with us today, I say to you now, you have not failed until you stop trying, and you are not defeated until you stop fighting. Never give up. Molon lave. Molon lave. Some of you look confused. Let me tell you what it means. It means courage, Ivan. Courage. You know that? Very well. It means standing up to a bully. It means 2,500 years ago, as the military men and women in this room will know, 300 Spartans and 700 Thespians. Yes, don't forget the Thespians. They were there too. They stood firm for 3 days against 200,000 men coming to destroy democracy 1.0. The messenger of the king of Persia was sent to speak to the king of Sparta, Leonidas. And he said to him, before the battle started, lay down your weapons. What was the answer? Molon lave. Come and get them. So, how does all this apply to us here today? Why is this all so important for our collective futures? There are two types of forces in physics. The negative force that tears apart and flings outwards. And then there is the positive force that brings together to the center. Concordia. That's why we are here. That's why Concordia was founded. That's why Concordia flourishes. Because at base, as individuals, they were and are part of a cause that is greater than themselves. For the path to being the best version of self is not paved with selfish stones. Now, if the children that I met can sing through the pain and still retain optimism and faith, what possible right could we have to be held back by pessimism or fatalism? The answer is none. So, as we go through the next 3 days, let Concordia, this inspiring gathering of souls from all over this planet, more than 100 countries represented here, remind us all of our better angels. 4, further the arc of humankind's progress, we do not, without striving for ideas and ideals. And to garner perspective and appreciation from the merging of the young and the old, the world leaders and the world students, the tested and the yet to be tested. In conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, I challenge you as we confront all that besets us, as we are inevitably forced to search for hope in hopeless situations, as we are often compelled to seek light in a dark room, I urge you to summon the ideas ignited here at Concordia. Keep faith in faith. Few things in this world are perfect, but we do have perfect moments. This is one of them. Thank you. We have much to be grateful for. Thank you.